Hello, my gaming gurus, and welcome to the Level Design Lobby. What is going on, guys and girls, and welcome to the first ever episode of the Level Design Lobby. And thank you so much for joining me to the first ever episode. This is a great milestone and a truly awesome experience to be here and have you listening to the first ever episode. So, some of you may be wondering, well, what is the Level Design Lobby about? And I'm glad you've asked that, and we will get to that in just a few minutes. But before we get to that, I want to introduce you to me, your host, Max Pears, and give you a bit of a backstory on who I am, why I decided to create this, and why you should listen to me and my opinions. So, as I said, my name's Max, and I'm a professional level designer, and I've been creating games for about 4.5 years now. And time sure flies when you're having fun, I'll tell you that. And I've worked at multiple studios on a range of different games, from mobile with puzzlers, platformers, racing games, to independent with augmented reality, and now recently to the big AAA studios. So, as I said, I've been working on games, but I also write about games. Some of you listeners may have come from my blog, and as you already know, I write about game design and different theories and different games and what we can learn from that. So I decided to take that sort of basis from my blog and apply it to this podcast. I thought it would be a far more interesting way to reach out to you, my audience, and the amazing game creators around the world. I'm super passionate about games, like most of you are, and I have an amazing life where I get to work on games, make games in my spare time, write about games, and now I get to talk about games. And really, it's about us sharing and growing together as a community and as developers, which is why I decided to create the Level Design Lobby. So this moves on to, well, what is the Level Design Lobby? And I'm glad you've asked, so allow me to answer it. So the Level Design Lobby is going to be, well, it's in the title, breaking down level design, but also game design, discussing multiple sections upon these topics and breaking it down. But the main things that you can expect and the main topics you can expect from this podcast are divided into 5 categories. So let's break them down. The first one's going to be game studies. And I'll be talking about a game that's recently come out, because there's hundreds, if not even thousands, of games being released a year, from indie, AAA to mobile. And I'll be discussing the sort of ones that have really blown me away, discussing games that have something I believe to be something unique and truly valuable for us all to learn from, and what we can take away from this, seeing what it did right, what we think it could improve on, seeing if we can take, well, what can we learn from this and what can we apply to ourselves. The second one is going to be discussions about game design and level design theory. Now, there's loads of theories out there, and there's tons of theories that I use when I'm creating my own stuff. So I'll be discussing these and why I choose to use these. Are these theories still applicable for the ones of old? Are they still applicable now? Are these theories applicable across all genres of games? And discussing those from there. The third one is going to be studying material. Now, there is many ways that we can consume knowledge, from reading a book, to an article, to a blog post, to a podcast, and to YouTube videos. So I'm going to be giving you my opinion on the best ones out there that I've personally read, because I read loads in terms of articles and blogs, and I listen to a multitude of podcasts and watch and consume a lot of YouTube videos. So I'm going to be suggesting some to you guys so you can see if you'll enjoy them, and be breaking down why I think they're important, why I believe that you as the listener should go check these out. And hopefully it interests you guys enough to go check these out and then give me your opinions. And then I hope to build up a conversation where you can suggest things for me to check out and read. So again, spreading that knowledge and allowing us all to grow together. The fourth one is interviews. Now, as I said, I've worked in this industry for a fair few years now, and I've got to meet an absolute ton of amazing people who are just creatively gifted in their own right. And I'm going to be discussing their sort of theories, their breakdowns, what inspires them, what do they consider when they're creating their pieces of work, and what they believe is important to think about to make the best product possible. So I've got a ton of guests lined up, and I can't wait for you to meet them, because I know you're already pretty excited about listening to this smooth jazz voice, but God, that was awful. But I know you're going to be really entertained and really hooked on what these guests have to say. And then this leads to the final point, the fifth one, which is breaking into the industry. As I said, I've worked in the game industry for a few years now, but I still do remember how difficult it was and how I made myself stand out to future employees to allow me to work into this amazing industry. So I'll be giving out tips that may not apply to everyone. I'll be giving out tips on how I believe you can stand out and what helped me stand out. Now, there's going to be, as I said, there's going to be people on the shows, and I'll be asking them, how did they stand out? What did they do to position themselves to get a job? So hopefully then you guys can see if you're in a similar situation and what you can take from them, and hopefully allow you guys to come and join this amazing industry and follow the dream careers that you want. That's really a breakdown on what the level design lobby is. I don't want to keep you guys here for much longer because this is only an introduction. And the second episode is already out, and you should go check that out. It's about perspective in level design, and specifically hub level design. So go check that out. But before you guys go, there's just a few things I want to mention. And that is a huge shout out to my friend Paris Stalker, who created that really nice retro opening for this podcast, and just making it so interesting that it hooks people in. So if you guys want to check out his work and possibly hire him for sound design, or just see what he's doing because he's an indie dev, then please check out @Paris_Stalker, where you can find out information about what he's working on. And if you guys want to check out what I'm doing and want to tweet me, then please go to @Max Pears, where you can find me on Twitter, and you can just ask me loads of questions and see what I'm writing about. So, as I said, the second episode is already out, so please go check that out and let me know what you think. Also, please subscribe to the podcast because it lets me know that you guys are interested and I can keep making these. So thanks again, guys. Go check out episode 2, and I'll catch you later.